Hey y'all, it's Vanessa Love. All right, so I have a comment that's in, um, it's in the approval. Like I have like 60 days to approve any of the comments that I get, and sometimes I let them go, sometimes I delete them right away. I don't know what to do because it's not that I allow like that I only allow like people who agree with me to like those comments to be posted. Like I don't mind people who are like mildly offended by something. It's the people who write essays. I don't, and like people who are advertising their own stuff or like saying things that are just like really, really weird or sideways. And this is one of those weird sideways ones, but it's one of the ones that I feel like I need to address more than just like let the comment be there. On the adult reactive attachment disorder, the main one, video, this person wrote that deliverance is the only way to overcome reactive attachment disorder, which I mean, scientifically not okay. What I want to say is that, like, I don't think that sentiment like that really should apply to a situation like this because there is such a thing as religious trauma, and there are people who are traumatized by their religious upbringings. There are plenty of people who absolutely love and adore their community based on their religion. And this is obviously not that. This is for the people who were, beaten because they needed to go to church every Sunday and Wednesday night and Friday night, and you can't forget, the Tuesday brunch or whatever other thing they're forcing you to do. And you can't force someone to have a relationship with God, really. So like people end up not having a relationship with God and feeling very judged. There are people who are followers of certain religions, and many religions, actually, almost all of them, who are very misguided in what is said, how they interact with people. And, I mean, most Christian based religions say that you should not be bragging, should not feel above other people, all because you have a relationship with God and someone else doesn't, and there's no right way to be with God because we're all God's children. But there's definitely people who will like look at you differently if you identify whatever way you do, or if you've been in another religion before, all of those other things that kind of come up for people. And like the other thing is that some people are never going to go back to religion because of the religious trauma that they've experienced. So it's not okay. The other part of that is deliverance isn't the only way to resolve issues that are about attachment. Not that I particularly like the attachment theory. What is most important is to feel that like you can rely on at least one person, and that you can heal. That might be your therapist, might be your doctor, your best friend, your mom. It might be someone else, some people do find healing and they end up having better relationships. Some people don't find that healing. And that, like, oh my gosh, there's so many people who I've counseled who've had this religious trauma that I'm just like, like, not all people have a positive experience with religion. And I watch things about cults. I watch things about so many things, and like my mom was abused by her religious parents. I don't know if they called her names, but they would not allow any like Midol, Tylenol, any, like, you weren't allowed to go to the doctor. Yeah, like it was just She sprained her wrist. She didn't go to the doctor for that. When she was able to walk to school, she often went to the corner store and got Tylenol. And she had to hide that from her parents. Do you understand like how traumatizing that can be? That like if you have a headache or a migraine, that's just God's wishes and like you can't do anything about it. Like that's not okay. My friend's dad grew up also in the same religion, and he got a concussion and slept for 3 days because they didn't take him to the hospital. Yeah, it was really weird. Like, I know that, like, she had told me that, and I was like, whoa, okay. So, no, deliverance isn't the only way to overcome reactive attachment disorder. And, like, I don't want to approve that. Like, that's not a message I approve of. And, like, I don't want that on my page. I don't want people to think that I do. And even if I respond to it, and even with this video, some people will still be like, I don't know, you approved it though, so that's why I'm just kind of like, it's in a place, because I really don't know what to do with it. It's just, and I mean, if you are skeptical of like a professional saying that, I'm like, I mean, I like, first of all, I'm already going against, the whole crew, I guess, who went over the DSM and decided that the reactive attachment disorder is only for children. Like, yes, it develops in children. That doesn't mean that it's resolved once you're an adult. And yeah, like, I mean, religion can't teach you empathy, and some people who are in religious organizations don't have empathy. So no, it doesn't help. And I mean, I know that some of my clients who have like adult reactive attachment disorder would be okay to go and like join like a church. But I think one of them at some point might have, and that person needed the most like social supports that they could possibly get so that they can like feel better. And they ended up judging everyone in that group, and they were just like, these are a bunch of people who are hypocrites, and I'm not going to stay in this. And so it was like, it just didn't work, and anything else I tried to get them to do just didn't work either, because either it wasn't happening often enough, or the same thing kind of kept on happening, or it'd be like, oh, well, I did get to know this person and I think that they're an idiot. Okay, yeah, you shouldn't hang out with those people then. Whatever it is. Anyway, I hope that was helpful for you, and I will talk with you soon. And thanks for liking and subscribing and sharing. All right, have a good one.